Hi everyone. If you work at a desk, listen up. You might have heard of this concept called tech neck. And basically this is a modern term referring to a head and neck position that is not ideal generally in front of our body. And it's causing a lot of pain and headaches and dysfunction in our general population since, as we all know, we tend to spend a lot of time in front of a phone, in front of a tablet, in front of a laptop, always working with technology all day, every day for the most part, and we're starting to see more and more people with headaches and neck pain, and it can really compromise your quality of life and your ability to work. So I wanted to show you a few strategies on what you can do to work on this. So with tech neck, we typically see someone with forward head posture, meaning their head is in front of their bodies and not over top of their shoulders. So they kind of look like this, and the shoulders are also rounded forwards. Okay, we're working like this. And what happens is everything at the front of the neck and the back of the neck gets really tight and sore over time. And if you think about the position you're in, people are generally sitting as well. So we also get tension through the whole front of the body, through the pecs, through the abdominal wall, into the hip flexors. So I'm going to show you stretches today that are going to address the pec muscles, the hip flexors, and also to open up the mid-back. Since we're in this round forward flex position, we want to have strategies to get our back nice and extended again, which is going to help keep our head in the right place and relieve some of those aches and pains. To stretch your pecs, the muscles at the front of your shoulder, you can use a doorway. So what I'm going to do here is anchor my elbow, versus you may have seen this done with your hand before. I prefer an elbow, it's a little bit easier on the shoulder joint, right at the edge of the doorway. So you can start at around 90 degrees, and what you're gonna do is stand up nice and tall. You can put some counter support with your hand right over top of these upper ribs where the pecs attach, and you're gonna gently turn your feet and your hips and rotate your body away. So we're getting into those middle fibers of your pec major. And you can hold for up to a minute. Be mindful if you get any pain in the shoulder joint or any numbness or tingling in your hand to back off a little bit, because there's lots of nerves that run through here too. To get the different fibers of the pec, since they kind of run like this and fan out, you can lower your arm down. So here I'm working at about 45 degrees, and we're gonna stretch the same way. Holding again for around a minute or so, more if you can tolerate it. Once that's done, you can slide up to around 110, 120 to get the next layer of fibers. Again, making sure you're not pushing into any shoulder pain. And then you would repeat on the other side, and that's your pec stretch. Next, I'll show you a hip flexor stretch. So this targets the muscle at the front of the hip, but that gets really tight with sitting and pulls us into that forward position, that tech neck position we don't want. So you can do this on the floor, and I'll show you up here for reference. So you start in tall kneeling, and then we're gonna bring one leg forward into a half kneeling position. So we're gonna be stretching the front of the left hip here. So to position yourself properly, you want to contract your abs and tuck your tailbone under. So we're tucking and we're squeezing this left glute, the leg that's down. So abs on, squeeze your bum on this side. You should feel right away that there's tension building in the front of the thigh and the hip. You want to maintain this position, this contraction, as you gently lean forward to feel an even bigger stretch through the front of the hip, thigh, and maybe a little bit into the abdomen. To get into a bit of a deeper stretch, you can lift this arm up, and you can also reach away. So we're getting the whole lateral side and front of the body right into the hip. Try to hold for at least a minute and repeat on the other side. to open up the chest further and work on extension of the upper back, getting you nice and tall and more mobility through here, I'm going to show you a chest opener stretch. So I'm using a half foam roller. You can use this, you can use a full foam roller if you have one, or even a bolster. So I'll show you what this looks like. So you're going to sit right on it, so your tailbone is on one end and your head is supported on the other. And then you're gonna keep your knees bent if that's most comfortable. If your lower back can tolerate it, you can work towards straightening your legs. You're gonna open up your arms like this, like you're making a snow angel. And you're gonna hang out for a few minutes. Feel free to move your arms in different angles as you go into the stretch to where you feel the most opening, the most stretch and relief, and hold and breathe. Hope those stretches are helpful. Next time you are sitting at a desk for a prolonged period of time, check in on your posture and give those 3 stretches a try and see what you think.